E.N.D here, day 9 and the last day for the spoilers of Bloomburrow. 9 long days, but I managed to keep you updated, spoiled on a daily basis, something no YouTuber does nowadays. Anyway, let's start. And I want to start and end with Commander, the 4 Bloomburrow pre-constructed Commander decks. First deck, Family Matters. Its Commander, Xenia Veli's Voice, the ideal Commander if you want to play Offspring. Arthur Marigold Knight, 2-1 blue, 1 red and 1 white, 4/5 with haste. When it and at least another creature attack, look at the top 6 cards of your library. You may put a creature card from among them onto the battlefield tapped and attacking. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in random order. Return that creature to its owner's hand at end of combat. Loyal Warhound, 1 and 1 white, 3/1 with Vigilance. Enters the battlefield if an opponent controls more lands than you. Search your library for a basic plains card, put it on the battlefield tapped, then shuffle. Marmaration, 4 and 1 white, enchantment, birds you control get +1/+1 and have Vigilance. At the beginning of your end step, for each spell you've cast this turn, create a 1/2 blue bear creature token with flying named Stormcrow. Jacked Rabbit X, 1 and 1 white, 1/2 with Ravenous. When it attacks, create a number of 1/1 white rabbit creature tokens equal to its power. Poliwag Prodigy for 1 and 1 blue, 1/3 with Evolve. Whenever an opponent casts a non-creature spell with mana value less than its power, draw a card. Fortune Teller's Talent for 1 blue, enchantment class, level 1. You may look at the top card of your library anytime. 3 and 1 blue, level 2. As long as you've cast a spell this turn, you may play cards from the top of your library. 2 and 1 blue, level 3. Spells you cast from anywhere other than your hand cost 2 less to cast. Calamity of Cinders, 5 and 2 red, sorcery, convoke, it deals 6 damage to each untapped creature. Agatha Instigator for 1 and 1 red, 1/3 with offspring 1 and 1 red. Whenever another creature you control enters the battlefield, this creature deals 1 damage to each opponent. Rapid Augmenter for 1/1 blue and 1 red, 1/3 with haste. Whenever another creature control with power 1 enters the battlefield, it gains haste until end of turn. Whenever another creature you control enters the battlefield, if it wasn't cast, put a +1/+1 counter on Rapid Augmenter, and Rapid Augmenter can be blocked this turn. Ideal for tokens. Second deck, Peaceful Offering. Its commander, Miss Bumbleflower. It seems adorable, but be very careful. Mr. Foxglove for 2/1 green, 1 white and 1 blue, 3/5 with lifelink. Whenever it attacks, draw cards equal to the number of cards in defending player's hand minus the number of cards in your hand. If you didn't draw card this way, you may put a creature card from your hand onto the battlefield. Steel Bear Champion, 2 and 1 white, 1/1 with offspring 1 and 1 white. Vigilance, whenever an opponent casts a non-creature spell, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. Tempt with Bunnies, 2 and 1 white, sorcery. Tempting Offer, draw a card and create a 1/1 white rabbit creature token. Then each opponent may draw a card and create a 1/1 white rabbit creature token. For each opponent who does, you draw a card and you create a 1/1 white rabbit creature token. 20-Toe Toad, 3 and 1 blue, 3/3. Your maximum hand size is 20. Whenever you attack with 2 or more creatures, put a +1/+1 counter on it and draw a card. Whenever it attacks, you win the game if there are 20 or more counters on it, or you have 20 or more cards in hand. Communal Brewing, 2 and 1 green, enchantment, enters the battlefield. Any number of target opponents each draw a card. Put an ingredient counter on it. Then put an ingredient counter on it for each card drawn this way. Whenever you cast a creature spell, that creature enters the battlefield with X additional +1/+1 counters on it, where X is the number of ingredient counters on Communal Brewing. Bloodroot Apothecary, 2 and 1 green, 3/3, Toxic 2. When it enters the battlefield, you and target opponent each create a treasure token. Whenever an opponent sacrifices a non-creature token, that player gets 2 poison counters. Rites of Flourishing, 2 and 1 green, enchantment. At the beginning of each player's draw step, the player draws an additional card. Each player may play an additional land on each of their turns. Octomancer, 3, 1 green and 1 blue, 3/3, Gift an Octopus. At the beginning of each end step, create a token that's a copy of target creature token that entered the battlefield this turn. Fisherman's Talent, 2, 1 green and 1 blue, enchantment class, level 1. At the beginning of your upkeep, look at the top card of your library. You may reveal it if it's a land card. Create a 1/1 blue fish creature token if you reveal it this way, then draw a card. 1 green and 1 blue, level 2. If you would create a fish token, create a 3/3 blue shark creature token instead. 2, 1 green and 1 blue, level 3. If you would create a shark token, create an 8/8 blue octopus creature token instead. Last but not least, Exotic Orchard, reprinted with a new gorgeous artwork. I'm really loving it. Third deck, Animated Army. Its commander, Bello, Bard of the Brambles, the ideal commander if you want to turn non-equipment artifact and non-aura enchantments into massive creatures. While Seer scoring mode 3-1 red and 1 green 6-6 with trample, enchantment spells to cast from your hand have Cascade. Alchemist talent 3 and 1 red enchantment class level 1 enters the battlefield, create 2 tapped treasure tokens. 1 and 1 red level 2 treasures you control have tap, sacrifice this artifact, add 2 mana of any color. 4 and 1 red level 3 whenever you cast a spell, if mana from treasure was spent to cast it, this class deals damage equal to that spell's mana value to each opponent. Pyre Swipe Hawk 3 and 2 red for 4 flying haste. Whenever it attacks, it gets plus X plus 0 until end of turn, where X is the highest mana value among artifacts you control. Whenever you expend 6, gain control of target artifact as long as you control Pyre Swipe Hawk. Prosperous Bandit 2 and 1 red 2-2 with Offspring 1. First strike, whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, create that many treasure tokens. Evercoat Ursine 4 and 1 green 6-5 with Trample. Hideaway 3, Hideaway 3. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, if there are cards exiled with it, you may cast one of them without paying its mana cost. Bright Cap Badger 3 and 1 green 3-4 with Adventure. Fungal Escapade 2 and 1 green instant, create 2 1-1 green sapling creature tokens. Fungi and saplings you control have tap, add 1 green mana. At the beginning of your end step, create 1-1 green sapling creature token. Thickest in the Ticket 3 and 2 green enchantment enters the battlefield, put X +1/+1 counters on target creature, where X is that creature's power. At the beginning of your end step, draw 2 cards if you control the creature with the highest power or tied for the highest power. Trail Tracker Scout for 1 and 1 green 1-3, tap, add 1 mana of any color. Whenever you expend 8, return target permanent card from your graveyard to your hand. Rolling Hemisphere 7 generic mana for 4, gets +1/+1 for each hamster you control. Whenever it attacks, create 3 1-1 red hamster creature tokens, then it deals X damage to any target where X is the number of hamsters you control. Crew for 3. Fourth and last deck, Squir Away. Its commander, Hazel of the Road Bloom, the ideal commander to create more squirrels. The Odd Acorn Gang 3-1 black and 1 green 5-5 menace, trample and reach. Squirrels you control have tap, target squirrel get +2/+2 and gain trample until end of turn. Activate only as a sorcery. Whenever one or more squirrels you control deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. Hazel's Brewmaster 3 and 1 black 3-4 with menace enters the battlefield or attacks, exile up to 1 target card from a graveyard and create a food token. Foods you control have all activated abilities of all creature cards exiled with it. Insatiable Frugivore 3 and 1 black 2-4 enters the battlefield, create a food token. Then you may exile 3 cards from your graveyard. If you do, repeat this process. 3 and 1 black, sacrifice X foods. Creatures you control get +X+0 and gain menace until end of turn. Swarmyard Massacre 3 and 2 black sorcery, create 2 1-1 green squirrel creature tokens. Then each creature that isn't an insect, red, spider or squirrel get -1/-1 until end of turn for each creature you control that it's an insect, red, spider or squirrel. Moonstone Eulogist 3 and 2 black 4-4 with flying. Whenever a creature an opponent control dies, you create a blood token. Whenever you sacrifice an artifact, put a +1/+1 counter on it and you gain 1 life. Root Cast Apprenticeship 3 and 1 green sorcery, choose 3. You may choose the same mode more than once. Put 2 +1/+1 counters on target creature. Create a token that's a copy of target token you control. Target player creates a 1-1 green squirrel creature token. Target opponent sacrifices a non-token artifact. Gorman's Talent for 1 green enchantment class level 1. During your turn, artifacts you control are food in addition to their other types and have 2 generic mana. Tap, sacrifice it, you gain 3 life. 2 and 1 green level 2. Whenever you gain life for the first time each turn, create a 3-3 green raccoon creature token. 3 and 1 green level 3. Whenever you gain life for the first time each turn, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. Scurry of Squirrels 2 and 1 green 2-2 Migrate. Whenever it is combat damage to a player, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. Sword of the Squeak for 2 generic mana artifact equipment. Equipped creature get +1/+1 for each creature you control with base power or toughness 1. Whenever a hamster, mouse, rat or squirrel you control enters the battlefield, you may attach it to that creature. Equip for 2. So that was the last card in the spoiler tour, day 9 and the last day for the spoilers of Bloomburrow. I thank you for the views, I thank you for the support, and as always don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more and more interesting videos about Magic the Gathering and the collectible world.